Bruh fans, we're talking season 3, episode 15, Upside Down. I'm going to be honest, didn't really care for the episode. I'm probably going to put bruh on the back burner for a couple of weeks. I'm not going to stop reviewing the show, but I really don't see the point of doing one review per week. Sure, it's quick and easy, 20-minute episodes, and if I'm able to increase the speed, I'm only done watching in 10 minutes. But it really didn't do it for me because not much really happened to advance the story. There was some setup, but I got to give it a 2 out of 10. Like I said, this was one of those skippable episodes. Character moments, mainly like with Darla and Greg, really brought the episode down. But let's just jump into the review, and then I'll talk about my plans for the show later on. But if you want me to continue, reviewing the season, definitely watch these videos. Leave comments, hit the like button. Basically, the more engagement on the content, the more YouTube pushes it out, and the more inclined that I'm doing it week to week, as opposed to, I don't know, letting 2 or 3 episodes kind of pile up before I binge them together. We'll just have to wait. But in any case, Hilda's upset about, Alice breaking up her marriage and her home, and she basically wants the bracelet back that her husband gave to Alice. John comes out in the middle of their back and forth and tries to, convince her to give back the bracelet, but Alice's like, hell no. And Hilda, ends up quitting, and John tells her, you're wrong, Ma. And it's like, I thought she was your friend. And I'm like, well, John, to be honest, they've only known each other for a few hours, so I wouldn't say friends, but they were getting along. But, from his perspective, it's like, Ma, here you are fighting to get her a job, even willing to take a pay cut if it means even paying her the bare minimum so she'll work at the sandwich shop. And now you're telling her, just go to hell, you wrong for that. So that's pretty much it. And from there, we have, let's see here. I'm just going to talk about the John stuff at once. John gets home from work. Lydia's there waiting for him. Already fixed dinner and whatnot. She claims that her and Miss Alice made up after the whole chasing her out of the sandwich shop with a gun. Now I think about it, that's right. After episode 12, the cliffhanger ending with Alice running her out of the shop with a gun, we never got follow-up on that. But essentially, as Lydia claims, they made up, but I'm thinking did Lydia just break into their apartment to fix dinner, or what's going on with that? But she claims Miss Alice, invited her over or let her in, one of the two. And from there, John, is freaking out because obviously he doesn't want her there. I don't want to eat that food. I got a date. He's probably lying about that. And she's coming over. Oh, well, I'll wait so I can meet her. And he ends up getting so frustrated that he ends up leaving the apartment. And the thing about it is, that's kind of the theme of the episode. Women who either just don't know how to take a hint or refuse to take no for an answer. All right, so we got Claudia. Bill's finally gotten home from quote unquote working at Tom's apartment, and Claudia calls Bill because oh well, you gave me your number and I want to use it. I mean, unless you don't want me to use it. And she said that she could send the usual cleaning lady over to Tom's place to clean it tomorrow. And Bill's like, yeah, I think that's for the best. Are you sure about that? Yeah, like I said, this was the last time. And then she sent him a pic, and I ain't gonna lie, I mean, I know she said delete it, but I would have said that shit. But in any case, Bill's like, okay, fine, yeah, tomorrow, tomorrow. But this time, just don't bring your phone, leave it in your car. Oh yeah, it turns out the whole thing about her calling her husband and then the phone being on while they were having sex, that ridiculous thing. Oh yeah, I saw my husband. Apparently, he didn't even realize I had called him, so no issues with that. But despite that very close call, we see Bill gonna do it all over again. Alright, so at the end of the episode, when Bill finally gets back to the apartment, he thinks he has the place to himself. Regina comes out of the back. And it's like, he's like, oh, damn. He's like, oh, is there any way to greet your wife? And I don't know who's worse as a wife. Regina on bruh, or the way that, or who treats their husband worse. Regina here on bruh, or Priscilla on the Oval, even though she did get better as of this last episode. It's just the fact that, he's being lightly interrogated. Why aren't you working from home? And this and that. And it's like, oh, well, your mom's always here, but she has a job at the sandwich shop. Oh, she, with Miss Alice, her crazy self. Yeah, I know she's crazy, but, they're getting along. Okay. But of course, she doesn't know about the whole Miss Alice, sleeping with her daddy kind of thing. So, yeah, wonder how that's going to fly. But in any case, Bill wants to take a shower. Regina wants to get intimate. Not going to lie, even if it wasn't the Claudia sex that doesn't make Bill, come home horny anymore. With everything that's going on, I don't even think I'd be in the mood. It's like, Regina, I don't know. I mean, even if we did start getting on, your mom would pop up out of nowhere. So, I don't know. But then again, she's suspicious that Bill just wants to take a shower, doesn't want to hop in bed with her. And then when he does go to take a shower, what is it? She checks, like, what was it, her purse or his bag or something? Because I'm thinking to myself, I know this dummy didn't leave his phone, because Claudia said delete the picture, and I don't think he did, because he did say I'll delete it after I look at it one more time. So I was thinking, she going to go on his phone when he in the shower, see that picture, and then go off. But no, she goes in the bathroom, sniffs his clothes that he threw on the ground, and realizes perfume, and it's like, you better come out here and talk to me about this. And I felt kind of mad because this was the cliffhanger ending. I thought the cliffhanger ending would have been a cutaway over to Tom's apartment, which I'll get to in a second, because we spent, about 30 seconds of Regina just sitting at the island in the kitchen, kind of like, glaring because she's kind of putting two and two together. And then she rushes to the bathroom. You need to get out here and talk to me and tell me something now. And that's the end of the episode. But then, of course, let's get to the Greg stuff, because I'm just sitting here like, okay. First of all, Darla seems to have just arrived at the apartment complex, and Greg is rushing behind her trying to catch her. I'm like, but Darla had a good head start when she left the restaurant. You were still there talking with Pam. Remember, Darla was the ride. Like, she was the reason, she was the transportation over to the restaurant. So did he get like a ride share or Uber in order to make it to the apartment right around the time Darla did? That's the only way he could have caught up with her. And in any case, he wants to talk about what just happened. And Darla's in her feelings because Pam just ignored her. I don't know if this is a, wow, did she just ignore me because I'm trans? Or, was she just acting like a bitch and whatnot? And Pam's like, Pam was Pam. Yeah, Pam was absolutely rude for what she did. Like I said, her walking up to the table, saying hi to Greg, and then she, like Greg said, she said hi to you, Darla. But the way she self-inserted herself into their date, that was the messed up part. But the fact that Greg, who was clearly trying to tell explain to Pam, look, I'm on a date right now. If you want to talk about our boy Mike, we can do that later. Darla just got in her feelings and left, and I thought that was pretty messed up. So from there, it's like, well, I don't need to explain myself to you because it's not like we're dating, right? I'm like, well, no, but I thought we were just, hanging out trying to get to know each other. And then he's like, well, I'm confused. And his confusion stems from her anger. Like, where is this coming from? Why? We've been over this. Why? Because I'm trans and all this stuff. And I'm like, but it doesn't have anything to do with that. He's confused because of the bipolar hot and cold way you act towards him. So after a lot of back and forth, even after explaining it had to do with Mike, she wants him to apologize. And I'm like, Greg, thank God you're saying what I've been saying about a lot of these male characters in these Tyler shows for a while. What the hell am I apologizing for? For being an asshole. Good night. And then she went into her apartment. So I ain't gonna lie. One of the reasons I did get this episode a 2 instead of like a 0 or something was because Tom was listening from the inside of the apartment. Like, his ear was towards the door. So when he heard like Greg, coming back down the hall, he rushed over to the table and, breathing hard because he ran from the door to the kitchen real quick. But essentially, he acts like he didn't overhear what went down, but Greg explains what happened to Tom in regards to the whole Pam being Pam and Darla blowing up on him, and kind of regurgitating what Pam said. I don't know, Greg, that's a big red flag if she's acting that jealous because of that. Because you tried to explain it to her, right? Yes, I did. I explained everything. And I even tried to understand why she was mad. So, yeah, that's a freaking red flag. So then later on that night, there's a knock on the door. And it's like, wow, some people just don't know how to call anymore. It's like, ain't that the truth? Who do you think that could be? Somebody for you. I mean, this is your apartment after all. What, you really doing that to me, man? Hey, I'm just joking. But Tom goes to get the door. Oh, also before that, he asked about the whole bill situation and the complete disrespect of, yo, I let you use my apartment, to get away from your married life that you chose to get involved with. And you disrespect the apartment by not only cheating on your wife, but having sex on my $8,000 couch and all this other stuff. So, yeah, I would not invite Bill back to the apartment. Tom should not do that. But essentially, it's Darla, and she's come over to see Greg. And just like before, it's like the bipolarness is agitating. Like, what you're not going to do is, consistently, we're cool, then you cuss me out, and then you leave. And then you come back. Oh, yeah, well, I thought about what. No, and we ain't doing that back and forth. Like, it's kind of weird where you have Greg, who was the one who was, confused about, whether or not he was comfortable dating Darla. But now you have Darla, who's just all the time, just going off on somebody and then acting like she just come back not long after that and act like everything's okay when it's not. But Greg did call her out for being tipsy from drinking. But it's like, hey, I did a lot of thinking about what's going on between us, about, the animosity and whatnot. Yeah, the way you blow up at me all the time, like 1 minute we're cool, everything's good, and then you'll just cuss me out and that's it. And she's like, oh yeah, well, I think it's sexual tension. And I'm like, damn, yet again, Tyler has me rooting for Greg like he's saying all the right things I'm saying. First of all, no, it's not that. You're the problem. But then she's like, well, I want to have sex with you. It's like, yo, what? And then she like gets on the island and everything, and I'm thinking to myself, y'all keep disrespecting this man's apartment. Get your body off the island. But Greg is like, this ain't romantic. Like, I ain't trying. No. Like, you say I get angry when I get, when I've been drinking, and I don't like seeing you like this when you've been drinking. And not to mention, I think Greg was right to be cautious because just last night, you had a drunk woman in your apartment and that shit didn't go over well. I highly doubt this situation is going to turn out well too. And then, and this is another reason I was confused because Greg's like, look, I can't do this with you. I got to wake up early in the morning. It's late. You need to go home. I'm out of wine. Well, I have some wine, but I'll sit up with you for like an hour and that's it. And I'm thinking, Craig, you see how she's acting right now after some drinks. Do you really think giving her more alcohol is the right solution here? And then she's like, hey, carry me to the couch. And then, okay. So there's that. So yeah, this episode's pretty boring. So basically my plan is to possibly not review the show until next year. How many episodes would that be? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll probably like bank 3 episodes and then, do them all together in early January. So there you go, because not much is happening right now. So let's see, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, we'll be close to the end of the season if I did that. But let me know if you want me to change my mind. But like I said, you would have to blow this video up. This video would have to get like 3,000 hits, which I highly doubt. But yeah, that's the only way I can see it, happening, especially with all these other shows coming out. We got Ruthless, 3 episodes. I still need to watch those. I did see a couple of clips and it did look really good. Andrew straight up Call of Dutying the Raku soldiers. Daikon sends after him. But yeah, bruh, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's almost the end of the year. Maybe because I'm kind of burnt out on Tyler Perry content. Yes, it's my job to do this stuff, but shit, I need a mental health break. That Thanksgiving break I took was good, but I think like the last week of this month, when there's no sisters, no oval, that's going to be a pretty chill week, a much deserved rest, because I'm just sick of mediocre writing. Yeah. Yep. But I did laugh a few times during this episode, though, so there's that aspect of it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you enjoy this episode of Bruh? Do you agree with my score of a 2 out of 10? I just felt like this was an episode where women could look at this and be like, hey, we're not the one. We're men. When it comes to men, no means no as well. You know, like Bill with Claudia, John with Lydia, Greg with Darla. There's some lessons to take here. And hey, even Bill told Regina no, but she still wanted to press on him. Just saying. Just saying. Alright, well, thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, as I mentioned before, and I'll catch you in the next one.